For most of us, the majority of us, can live to our 90s full of vitality and energy if we ourselves become our best advocate for longevity. And how do you become your best advocate for longevity? There are two things that I want you to focus on, two key habits that you can practice that can allow you to become your best advocate. And the first thing you can do is to practice daily prevention. And what do I mean? And most of you already know intuitively what you have to do for prevention. For example, not hanging out in the sun for too long reduces your risk of skin cancer. Not smoking reduces your risk of lung cancer. Eating a healthy diet and exercising reduces your risk of heart disease. And by learning simple prevention techniques, by getting vaccination, reduces your risk of certain infections. And in the era of COVID, wearing your mask and practicing social distancing reduces your risk of getting infections. There are a lot of things you can practice on a daily basis that will reduce your risk of death or disability and therefore increase your longevity. And that is what it means to practice prevention daily. But no matter how good and solid your prevention plan is, some diseases will still slip through, either because your genetic risk is very strong, or the environmental conditions that you live in, the toxins that's constantly flowing in our atmosphere from all manner of sources are increasing your risk of having that disease. Some diseases will eventually slip through if you live long enough. So you have practicing prevention, but the next important part of this equation to allow you to have a long, healthy life is also practicing early detection. What does that mean? That means that you are doing things to detect the problems that can most likely harm you. And some of the common problems that harm us as humans are, one, heart disease. So you want to have a detection scheme that look for early signs, early risk of heart disease and early signs of heart disease. And other problems such as cancer, dementia, stroke, death caused by accidents are all common causes of death and disabilities that affect most of us. So understanding what are the big problems that most likely will affect your longevity, your health span, and then coming up with a plan on how to reduce that risk is very important. And how do you come up with a plan? I want you to choose just one problem to focus on and one solution that you can start practicing. Don't get bogged down by all the possibilities. Just choose one. And how do you go about doing this? A simple way of doing this is first, look at your family history, look at your parents, your grandparents, and your siblings to see what conditions or problems are popular within your family. And the second is to look at your own history and then look at your current behavior. For example, in my case, when I look at my family history, stroke and heart disease are very common, which I'm sure most of you may have also. And when I look at my own past history, I was diagnosed with elevated blood pressure, which means that I am at risk of having hypertension. And when I looked at my habits in the past, I realized that I was eating a lot of fast foods for lunch, and with the average fast food having about 1,300 milligrams of salt, I was ingesting more salt on a daily basis than I need for my health, and all that extra salt was just leading to higher and higher blood pressure. A simple change was to reduce my salt. And by reducing my salt, my blood pressure also went down. So I made that one change, and that is the most important change that I practice on a daily basis. And that made a difference in my blood pressure, which reduced my risk of heart disease, stroke, and even dementia. Because blood pressure affects your pipes, and if your pipes are bad, it leads to heart disease, kidney disease, stroke, dementia, and a whole host of other conditions. So just by eating less salt, that led to me reducing my blood pressure, which led to me reducing all these other conditions that can increase my risk of death and disability. And that's what I want you to understand. Find something simple that you know you can do today, that you are ready to do. It could be reducing your salt. It could be exercising more, or eating less sugar, or it could be increasing your polyunsaturated fatty acids. These are the good fats like fish and nuts and seeds, whatever actions you want to take. For some people, it could be sleeping more, quitting smoking. You find that action that you can start taking today that will make a difference in your longevity, that can give you the best opportunity to live a long, healthy life. Because in the end, that's what we all want. And that's why I want you to become the best advocate for you to have a healthy mind and a healthy body in your 90s and beyond. And guys, if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and share, and keep working on creating a longevity mindset.